You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Oh, hi there. I didn't hear you come in. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
I got the blues. The bye-week blues.
Don't
know what to do
blues.
on this bye-week blues. Yeah, hi guys. What's up?
And Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
What is up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I'm YouTuber.
It's another episode here at the Charger Chat, and as Hug and Duggan mentioned, it is those bye-week blues, folks. We just got to sit on our thumbs and wait for the next. Yes, wait for that next game. But as you're waiting for that next game, folks, don't forget we have another giveaway. Giveaway. 2 giveaways within 7 weeks?
What? Yeah.
That's a first here at the Charger Chat.
What?
What? That's right, folks. I am going to the Patriot game this Halloween, and as it stands right now, I'm going by myself. Yeah. I don't want to go alone, folks. I need somebody to hold my hand. It's too scary in there. It's too spooky. We are giving away 2 tickets and a parking pass. We want somebody to come and join me at this game. Who's it going to be? Well, the only way we're going to find out is if you can go to this game. Again, we're just providing tickets and a parking pass. We're not flying you in. We're not putting you up in a hotel. You got to be able to come to this game. Yeah,
we'd like to. Just
but
not happening.
Sure.
Right, as it stands right now, we've just got tickets. I know. We're cheap asses like that. But if you can come to the game, if you are vaccinated, or if you can provide a negative COVID test 72 hours prior to the game, we want you to come to this game. So comment on our show post. Should we say the Tuesday one, or should any show post?
Yeah,
okay. Any show post, folks. Yeah. If you can reply to it either on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, reply to any of those posts and just let us know why you should come to the game with yours truly. Okay. My boys will make decisions as far as who they think is worthy of going to a game with me. It doesn't take much, but and I'm the only.
I was just looking for how good of a time you're going to give Will Dog.
How good? Yeah.
How much fun can you be at the game? Right.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, folks. I'm actually shocked that I'm going to be going to. I will have gone to 3 games this season, when prior I think I've only been to 1 Charger game. So this is
you're coming out of the gates.
It's sensory overload. I'm shocked that I get to go to these games. It really is amazing. So I want some fun people to come with me to this game. I'm looking forward to it. And looking back now, since we don't really have a game to look forward to this week, we got to look back at our first 6 games of this season and what some of our favorite moments were so far this season. So let's take a look back. We've got 6 games to look at. Favorite moments. Go.
Who gets to go first?
Who goes first?
You pick, Willie. Who do you want to go first?
Let's start with Kyle. Let's do it like a book, top to bottom, left to right.
Ladies first.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. For me, I have 2 that stick out. Obviously, the 2 games that I went to were awesome. Being able to go with you guys and seeing Thunder Alley for the first time was pretty incredible.
That was amazing. Yeah.
It was really, really fun. But we took an L, so it was kind of dampered the experience.
Bittersweet.
Yeah. Right. So I think my favorite moment was going to the game with my dad and my son, and just absolutely beating the dog shit out of the Raiders for the whole first half. Just just being in that environment where they just had nothing.
Right.
They had nothing to hold on to. I was walking around the stadium at halftime. They were all just no smoking allowed. Didn't matter. They all had a cig in their mouth, just so stressed out. They needed to smoke something. So it was pretty great. It was pretty wonderful.
Right.
I think that was my favorite moment, was beating the crap out of the Raiders. That first half was the most dominant football I think I've ever seen.
That was a dominant first half. That was a crazy first half.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, what do you got?
Likewise, on meeting everyone in Thunder Alley, that was a highlight, but the loss kind of sucked. I would say it's similar to Kyle's going to Kansas City and that 4th and 9 and getting it and hearing the loudest stadium that you can probably go to become the quietest stadium that I've ever been at.
I love it.
That was next level, and just seeing my son like freaking out, running around, and just being sad when he had to leave because he enjoyed himself so much.
Yeah.
That was like prime dad moment for me, and was really, really awesome. And then just interacting with everybody on Twitter and everybody that said, I don't know, everything about these first 6 games have been fun except for the last one.
Yeah, being able to go to the game, number one, is huge. Like, just in general, like, forget everybody else. Just the fact that we get to go to these games when, like, we were planning for that last year.
Yeah.
And
took
it was
away
just,
from us.
just totally just plucked from our hands. So being able to go to these games is already a highlight in and of itself.
Yeah.
Let alone everybody that we interact with, like, Thunder Alley in the stadium, everybody that comes and goes, hey, can't love you, bye, or something like that. Like that. Those are memories that I will never forget. Like, those are so freaking sweet. And being able to not just go to a game, but to be able to go to a game with you guys and sit with you guys. Like, I mean, all I'm used to is being on a couch somewhere or in a bar. And like, now being able to be in the stadium and really to feel that energy is just, it's incomparable. For those that haven't had a chance to go yet, I highly recommend it now that I'm going to 3. But as far as like highlights of games and everything like that, like I mean, for me, it was the Cleveland Brown game. Like
all the victor, all the games we went to that were wins.
We've all been to great games.
We've all been to
not
really
the one
good
that we went
games.
together.
That
one was pretty fantastic. Like, I could have tipped that way. Even though I didn't go to that game, I feel you on that
good.
Browns game.
That was just one of those games that was just like, I'll never forget that game because that was so high energy. That was that shootout game of almost getting 100 points, like in that game alone, like 26 points in the fourth quarter. Like it was the most footballist thing that I have ever seen. Like, it wasn't a low scoring game. It was just high scoring, just touchdown after touchdown on both sides. It was just like, and it was just, that was an energy that I have yet to feel anywhere else. And especially being in a stadium full of Charger fans screaming, it was amazing. So like, good. There's no particular play. I mean, obviously, looking at like Mike Williams playing out of his mind this season, Herbert showing everybody that there is no such thing as a sophomore slump. Eckler rocking in the end zone, just being that strongest guy on the field and just killing it. And Derwin James flying around everywhere on the defensive side of the ball. Like, it's hard to pick just one particular play that we can hang our hat on. Like, these guys have just been playing. And Staley, come on. Staley has just been like really just this beacon of hope.
Sure.
Like, we had Herbert, who was great with Lynn, but now you give it to a competent coach like Brandon Staley, who is just incredibly well-spoken, has never said a bad thing ever. Like, it has never made you question, why did we hire this guy? Every time he says anything, like, even if it was like, because I think one of the best things that came from one of his recent pressers was talking about the taunting rule and his response to it, because it is that one thing that you're like, a lot of fans are hating the taunting penalties right now. Like, they're almost out of control. And even his response to that was great, where he was basically saying like, I understand why it's a penalty, but this is a game of emotion. And, to ask a player to stifle that emotion at a highlight of that game, he's like, and he said, like, I'm going to side with the players on this, but I understand why it's a penalty. But it's hard to basically tell the players to not be emotional at those moments. So he says so great things. So I think the future of this team is incredibly bright. And hopefully we can continue to ride this season, because again, like the remaining schedule, folks, it's doable. It's really doable.
Do you want to know something that also gave me like the goosebumps, like the
Yeah.
hair-raising
Yes,
stuff?
I want goosebump stories.
It's every other Friday we get an all-in, and those are so fun. And there's one coming out today, so
that's right.
Get your fucking all-in hat, and pants, and jacket on. Get ready because we're going all in. And
Can't
I think
wait.
I'm excited that this lined up this way because I need something Charger that will get
during
me
the bye week.
excited.
That's true.
And we get
Yeah.
to see the Cleveland Browns game from a different perspective. And hopefully they just say, we went to Baltimore, we came home. And that's how it ends. Like, we went there, came back, bye week, bye.
Won't, yeah, they probably won't even mention it. They'll do the Men in Black thing and hold the little neuralizer up and make us all forget.
Obliviate.
Yes. So all in, folks, coming out today. Be sure to check it out. And then looking, we've got this bye week, but I mean, just something that we can all remind ourselves as far as who we're going to be getting back. Drew Tranquil. God, I hope he's doing better by now. I hope he's doing any kind of rehab that he needs to do to get better. I mean, we still don't really know the extent of that injury. It was a pectoral injury.
Yep. But all these guys, there's like 4 guys that are expected to be back against the Patriots. There's like they're not great right now, but they're on either IR and that's when they're due to come off, or they're just taking a breather. So it's Drew Tranquil, Nas Adderley, Justin Jones, and Kenneth Murray. Like those are big names, dude. Those are high draft picks. Those are guys that we need to make this defense better. So it's hopefully we can get them all back, and they're all going to be, like Kyle always says, like not just making it to the games, but is thriving in practice and going to be a full 100%.
Closer to 100% than 70 or 80
we still haven't,
or something like
we
that.
haven't even seen Justin Jones yet this year.
We got him week 1.
I think we
got
had him
like a couple tackles, but that was not
very
the Justin
short-lived.
Jones we were expecting.
It was that short-lived, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, now it's time to talk about our sponsor for this episode, Symbol. Symbol is the stock market for sports that allows you to trade sports teams like stocks and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Symbol has blended sports and the stock market to offer you a new way to invest in and profit off your favorite teams without the high fees and high losses of gambling. Use your sports knowledge to buy low, sell high, and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Join the 7,000 plus early adopters who have started to invest in their favorite teams. Visit www.symbol.com. That's www.simbull.com to create a free account. And when you deposit, make sure you use the promo code ChargerChat to make your deposit risk-free. Even if you lose money, Symbol will refund your initial deposit in the first 90 days. Join Symbol and start investing and profiting from your favorite teams. And you know what else is coming back, folks? Winter. Can't avoid it. It's happening. It's coming. It's going to hit you right in the face. So if you go to chargerchat.com, check out some of the sweet merch. Kev's got a pretty sweet shirt. That's what I wear in the winter because I've got all this insulation.
Yeah, in Idaho.
Yeah, in Idaho.
You're the one that's going to get hit in the face with winter.
I am, but look, I'm biologically insulated, man. I've got enough fat here to last me all winter.
So I would built probably for success.
I'm built for success, so I'll probably get a t-shirt. But for those of you that aren't, that are able-bodied people, you can go to chargerchat.com. Get yourself a hoodie, get yourself a sweatshirt, get yourself a sticker if you think that'll keep you warm. But go to chargerchat.com and check it. Yeah, just one on each side. And that way, you keep yourself decent in public. That's all. You don't
want everyone to know the turkey's done, man. You know what I mean?
Man. Absolutely, man. I love that. All right. Yeah, go to chargerchat.com, check out the merch, and also check out the members section on our page. If you've already joined, head on over there. We've got some chit-chatty people over there, chit-chatting it up. So come on over to Charger Chat.
Chitty chat.
All right, folks. Well, now it's time to go on to our next segment. It's Bolt Insight, and I'm looking at the name here. This is a pretty big deal. Let's go check out what's going on over at Bolt Insight.
Powder Blue Drew.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back here with another Bolt Insight, and we are super pumped to have Drew from Diehard Bolt Club Oregon. What is going on, Drew?
How's it going, Kevin? Just hanging out and here to talk some Charger football, baby.
I love it, man. Bye-week blues. Let's get into it. I'm excited to learn more about you because you're from a place that has somebody very special to all of us. So we'll get into that in a hot minute. But before we do, let's find out, man. How did you become a Charger fan?
It's just one of those things where your dad's a Charger fan, and you kind of glue to that with dad, and it becomes part of your fandom and part of your heart. And now we're just bolted down for the rest of our lives. So
I love it. And how lucky are you? Because you're up in Oregon, so you must be an Oregon Ducks fan.
Oh yeah, super big Ducks fan. Too bad we couldn't stay number 3 this year, but I've been a Ducks fan for a while now, and got to see Herbert coming through, and all this is just a little bit of a dream come true for me. So
yeah, let's talk about that. So your impression, because all of our impression, as avid kind of, college football watchers is what everyone was telling us coming out of that his senior year. He obviously did incredibly well at the end. They won those at the Rose Bowl. But we didn't really have a feel what you were with him for 4 years. What's your perspective? What was your insight on him from freshman to coming back to his senior year?
Coming into his freshman year, you heard about him being this kid with this huge arm, and he didn't get to start until week 5, I think, freshman year. And from there, it was just pretty much guns blazing. He had a really good game against Utah. I think number 11 Utah. He upset him in freshman year. He threw 3 touchdowns in the last 15 minutes of the game.
Wow.
You could just see something special was forming with him even as a freshman. And he's just a special kid, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. So everyone is comparing kind of him coming into this new offense. People are saying the offense he ran at Oregon didn't quite show all of his talents. What do you think is different between what he ran at Oregon and what's happening for him now in the NFL?
It's just spread based. And I think the NFL has a tendency to find what you're good at and focus on it, to where college football is kind of more gimmicky, schemy.
Sure.
And just the spread-based offense in Oregon, he would flash his arm every once in a while, but it was always a quick hitter screens. You never really got to see his decision making, and just how smart he is. He's a super smart kid, and you could just see that in there. You're watching the games, you would see him hit an unbelievable throw, and you're like, push the ball down the field a little bit more.
Let's get more of this.
You can see that he has the potential to do that and get him in a rhythm. But I mean, just in college, you could just tell the college game's a little bit more gimmicky. There's a little bit more gimmick to the offense, especially coming out of the Chip Kelly and systems, where it transferred over to Helfrich, and there was kind of that blur ball. And then you got into Taggart, which more of that wet Florida coast offense. Mm-hmm. Even though he still shined in that, it's just a different thing. And NFL coaches just seem to find what you're good at, and then they just run with it. So where college, you just don't see that as much.
Yeah, totally. And what was it like that, the crazy year where we couldn't, the draft was all done remotely and all that stuff, but our first round pick, we land Justin Herbert. Well, I'm sure you were out of control.
If you look at my Twitter, there's a pinned tweet, and everybody was talking about Tua, and I pinned it today, actually. But there's a pinned tweet of me, months before the draft. There was far before that, but a month before the draft, I'm saying people are sleeping on Herbert. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Mark my words. This kid's going to be special. And I kept telling all the DHBC members and everybody I can get my hands on. I was telling them, Herbert's a pick at 6. He has to be. And I hope I hope that he lasts past the Dolphins. And he did. And when he did, I was yelling and screaming, and probably a few bad words came out.
Love it.
But I was so pumped, man. It was a dream come true for me as a Duck fan and a Charger fan. It was the head MFer in charge all over again, 2.0.
I love it. And it's so crazy because that pick where he went, he's kind of a GM killer. The guys that pick people ahead of him, that now in hindsight, what were you looking at? What was going on? So and I'm an idiot. I was we need Tua. I'm so glad I was wrong. I am so glad you were right.
I kind of lean more towards that big NFL type frame body quarterback and the big arm. And plus just watched him for 4 years.
Totally.
You see him for 4 years, and it's just, for me, it was no brainer. I was like, he's athletic. He can run. You saw him in the Rose Bowl. I mean, he did, for 6'6", the guy moves like he's, I don't even know, 4'11".
Yeah.
He's so fast for his size and so athletic for his size. You just knew it. And not only that, he's so calm. He's calm in the pocket. He's one of the biggest things I noticed at Oregon too is he never was too high and he never was too low. Even if he made a mistake, he would just get right back into the game and he wouldn't let it affect him. And you could just see he was ready for the next stage.
Yeah.
And so I was just super pumped, man. And like you said, it's a GM killer. So, I mean, I heard a little whisper today that they're already trying to get rid of Tua and down there.
That's what I'm seeing. There's some trouble brewing down south, man.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to have that problem anytime soon over here in LA Charger land.
I know. We're so lucky and so pumped. So let's talk a little bit about your charter, your Diehard Bolt Club charter up in Oregon. So like, you know, what is your charter like, and what's been like this last 2 years been like for you guys up there?
Yeah, well, we really just got started. It was kind of a weird startup when we did, but we got started up right when COVID pretty much came into fruition. We were starting up and trying to get set up. We're still kind of in that setup mode because this is our first real season back where we could get together and actually go do stuff, which we're still trying to do, even though we're a little spread out. I know I got Sean Parmenter. He's a co-lead with me.
He's a good guy.
And so is Jessica Anderson. She's a really cool chick.
Awesome.
And so we've been trying to just kind of build the group. We have a couple members that we've added. But we want to get it bigger. I know you see some of the bigger groups, like the IE group's really big with Rike.
Sure.
And, you know, we got so many groups that are just really pumped up and doing well. So we're going to try to get to that level. It might be a little harder up here in the Northwest, but we're going to try.
No, it's awesome. Well, dude, I'm hearing like all the time on Twitter, like Oregon Ducks fans are like messaging us like, hey, we're Charger fans now. Like, you got our boy. He's killing it. Like, all right, I'm a Duck fan now. Sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe how many Charger bolts I've seen on cars now.
I love it.
Now that now just driving around Oregon, you know, all of a sudden you're like, there's one, and there's another one. So it's pretty cool. And I'll have a hat on or something on. Even at work, I was driving the other day at work, and there was a city worker in here in Bend, and I saw he had a Bolt hat on, and I pulled up next to him. I'm like, go Chargers, baby! You know, it was pretty cool. So
I love
pretty
it.
Cool to see. So I think some of that's changing up here, and we're getting some fans because of Herbert too.
I love it. No, it's amazing. You know, we talked to a lot of people, and you know, they say they came in with LT, they came in with these certain guys. There's a lot of people coming in with Herbert now, so it's kind of cool to see you guys thriving up there and getting going. And it's awesome.
I don't know about your guys' Twitter. I know we're pretty big on Twitter, but my Twitter's been blowing up. This year especially, it's just been going crazy just with so many new Charger fans and followers and people wanting to get a part of the group and part of the conversation. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure. And if anybody here is up in Oregon and wants to get in on that Diehard Bolt Club goodness, you reach out to Powder Blue Drew on Twitter.
Yeah. At Powder Blue Drew, at SMPZ is for Sean, and I believe Jess is at Jess 1901. I believe it is.
Awesome. Well, go do it. If you're up in that area, go sign up with those guys. Yeah. So we'll kind of wrap it up on this, you know, rough game going into the bye week. Nothing went our way. Just kind of your general thoughts on kind of what a game like that means to you as a fan. Like, what do you do with that?
Yeah. I kind of recycle those a little bit, but at the same time, we were probably about a quarter in on Sunday, and I was like, you know, I kind of felt this one a little bit. I was like, I feel like this could get a little ugly.
Yeah.
And then, it did. But I think you grow more from experiences like this as a team, especially when you experience this kind of loss, and, you know, you can go back and sharpen your tools and say, hey, this is what we did, and this is where we need to get better. So I'm looking at it positive as best as I can. I think the guys will definitely take it as a positive thing too. It's going to hurt at first, but I'm sure that plane ride home sucked.
Oh, sure.
Especially from the East Coast. But I think they're going to come back better for it. And I think Staley is going to get these guys' minds right.
Absolutely. Could definitely be a galvanizing thing to bring them together even more.
100%. You almost need a loss like that in a season, I think.
Well, I saw some weird stat, like most Super Bowl teams that win have some blowout loss that just like they have to course correct and come up with some new stuff. So, you know, we just picked up a new kick returner specialist. So who knows? Maybe that doesn't happen if we come out of that with a win. So
I still say they're going to trade for somebody. I know we got a little thing on the line here. So
let's do it. I know there's a couple kickers out there. There's some defensive lineman talks. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. It's exciting. Something exciting to look forward to in the bye week here while we're trying to get that nasty taste out of our mouth.
Absolutely. So next week we're going redemption game. We're playing the team that smoked us last year, the New England Patriots. Like, what are your thoughts on that game, and what do you want to see out of our team?
Well, what a game to come back on after getting smoked to go play the team that smoked you last year, you know? So I think that's going to be a little bit of a motivating factor too, as you're kind of coming off that mad and you're going into it mad. So, you know, it's Bill Belichick. You can never underestimate that team. That team is always stout. They always have a really good plan for the quarterback. But we got Coach Staley and we got Justin Herbert and we got some dudes on this team. We got, you know, we'll see what they do, but I'm going to be rooting my butt off, and you know where I'll be in the Bolt Cave, and I'm sure you'll be in your Bolt Cave, and we'll be having a good time.
You know, and I'm excited to see this is Staley's, like, he's had big, you know, challenges, but like we always get in some way, shape or form owned by the Belichick teams. We do.
Yes.
So, and it's usually we're getting out coached. So I everything that we're feeling about Staley, this is a big game. Like,
I think so too.
Redeem us, help us.
Yeah. Redeem us. Exactly. I mean, how many times have we played the Patriots and been up on them and, you know, lost after halftime? It's been a couple times at least. And, what no better win would be than this weekend after that last loss, I think.
Absolutely. Come out strong. Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't you throw out your Twitter handle one more time so people can give you a follow?
Again, it's just at Powder Blue Drew. We just like to talk Chargers football, and you know, I kind of put a little bit of funny content out there as much as I can, but just all about the Chargers. And you guys make sure to check out, you know, your podcast. And thanks for having me on. I'm so excited.
No, we appreciate it, man. We really appreciate your time, and let's keep rolling on Twitter, and maybe we'll hop in another one of those like Zoom hangouts. Who knows?
Oh yeah, we do Zoom hangouts every once in a while, so keep a lookout for that. I know you guys will probably retweet it out, and we usually pop them up there. Usually the Friday before a game, we'll go on and have a couple drinks, talk some Charger football.
It was fun. I was going to hop in for like 10 minutes. I was in there for 2.5 hours. So it was like a good time.
We had a good time.
That was great, man. So thank you again, Drew. We appreciate your time, brother. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, brother.
Powder Blue Drew.
Yeah,
dude.
Thanks awesome. For coming on.
Yeah, really appreciate it, man. That's
from the land of our quarterback, the Oregon.
That's right. Yes, over in Oregon, where it's probably not as cold as it is in Idaho. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's just like the Diehard Bolt Club is everywhere, and
and I love that.
I kind of became like an Oregon football fan because of Herbert. Like, there's a lot of like
keep an eye on him.
I'm keeping it. I'm more invested. Like, if I see that pop up, I'm more prone to go to that than any of the other ones. And I think that, you know, some of like the college, you know, Oregon fans are Charger fans now because of Herbert.
An eye on the Chargers. Yeah.
You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. Go Ducks.
We'll keep an eye out for you. You keep an eye out for us.
You know, go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Quack, quack. Go Ducks. Quack, quack.
Now, the Oregon team is no slouch, so probably good for us to keep an eye on.
Not a bad team to root for.
Those jerseys, those helmets are sick. Like, so, like the one that's like mirrored.
If there's something that we haven't, if there's something that the Chargers and the Oregon Ducks have in common, dope jerseys.
Sick jerseys and sick quarterbacks. Am I right?
Yeah. Dope quarterbacks.
Same guy.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Powder Blue Drew, for coming on and talking with Kev. We really appreciate it. And now it's time to go on to our bi-weekly segment. It's Bolt History, and I'm seeing what he's talking about, and I am really excited to see this. Let's see what he's got. Mike Modlin, Bolt History. Bring it to me.
Let's go.
Right in my face.
What's up, Bolt Gang? Your boy Mike Modlin, aka Supercharger, back with another Bolt History installment for Charger Chat Pod. And this one's a very special Bolt History this week because it is by special request of Wolldog, Coach, and Huggin, based on that awesome piece of memorabilia that was brought up during the Fan Focus segment with Michael Perez. What a cool piece of memorabilia, the old Bolt, I should say, from the Chargers cannon. So this episode of Bolt History, we are going to be talking about the Chargers cannon specifically, and it's going to be more like a list of fun facts than really like a Bolt History segment like it normally is. So with that, let's get going. So I learned quite a bit about this cannon from doing research for this installment. Through all the changes that the Chargers have had in their history, whether it was ownership changes, uniform changes, player changes, all that stuff, there's been one constant in the Chargers history, and that is the cannon. Now, you might find this hard to believe, but our cannon is actually a World War I Navy line cannon And it had been actually attached to a building. It was displayed at a restaurant called Spanger's Fresh Fish Grotto. Now, I couldn't find any information on why the cannon was displayed at this restaurant, but it had been the oldest restaurant in Berkeley, California for a long time. It closed, I think, in 2018. But back in 1956, some fraternity pledges from the University of San Jose State went to the restaurant and unbolted the cannon and took it to the university with them. They drove it back to the university. I was not able to find out if they did that legally or if they got permission from the owners of the Fish Grotto or what the deal was with that, but it got taken to San Jose State and was used at their football games, much like it's used at the Charger games now. So they had used it at San Jose State, and one of the frat members from this fraternity, Alpha Tau Omega, it was a guy named Fred Sochi, and he actually took the cannon from San Jose State, and he was also a very popular piano player, very, very talented piano player. He had a stage name, Mickey Finn, and Mickey Finn, when he went down on vacation to San Diego, took the cannon with him and kind of housed it at the nightclub that he had down there in San Diego. He had taken the cannon down there and at one point approached the Chargers, seeing if they'd like to utilize it like San Jose State had been utilizing it, firing it off after touchdowns. The Chargers obviously accepted his offer, and a tradition was born. Mickey ended up moving to Las Vegas in 1977, and he ended up selling the cannon to a guy named Jim Magot, who had owned a restaurant in University Town Center, if you guys remember that mall in San Diego. And he ended up hiring a pyrotechnics expert to help him operate the cannon safely, because he wasn't a pyrotechnics person himself, and you would not believe the stuff I found out about how these guys had to go about getting their pyrotechnics license. There is a whole gamut of things, just crazy things you wouldn't even believe that they had to go through to get a pyrotechnics license. So Jim Magot ends up hiring a pyrotechnics expert to help him operate the cannon safely. This pyrotechnics expert's name is Jim Peluso. And unfortunately, Jim passed away in a car accident in 1980, which led Jim Magot to end up selling the cannon to another pyrotechnics expert named Ron Dixon, who owned and operated the cannon for 37 years after that, until the team ended up moving to Los Angeles. In that time, in the 37 years that Ron operated the cannon, he only missed 3 games in that entire 37 years due to illness, which is astounding. He only missed 3 games. He ended up driving the cannon 7 miles on surface roads because he had it mounted, or basically being towed by a Suzuki buggy, which wasn't freeway legal. So Jim drove from Tierra Santa to the stadium every home game, 7 miles in that Suzuki buggy using surface roads. And he did that for 37 years. It's not clear if Ron ended up selling the cannon to the Chargers. But I'm assuming that that's probably what happened, because after the Chargers moved to Los Angeles, Ron was 70 years old when that happened, and he didn't want to make the trip up to Los Angeles for all the home games. He felt he was too old to be doing that every home game. So it's not quite clear if he sold the cannon to the Chargers organization, but I'm assuming that's the case, because at the very next time the cannon was utilized at StubHub Center, the stadium crew was operating it, because obviously Ron wasn't there making the trip to StubHub, and they ended up blowing it. They fired the cannon after Younghoe Koo missed a game-winning field goal, and we ended up losing the game, and the team ended up firing the cannon after he missed the field goal, which was a huge boner, and that was the first time that Ron had not been operating the cannon. Somebody messed up. One of the crazy facts about the cannon is it takes 3 to 4 minutes to safely reload the cannon. They actually have to make sure that all the fire inside the barrel's put out. So not only do they clean it, but they stick a wet rag down it basically for a couple of minutes to make sure all the embers are put out before they can reload it. And because of the reloading time, that's why they don't fire it after extra points and only on field goals or touchdowns. The operators typically take 18 charges to each game, and those charges use sporting grade black powder. And it's lit by an electric match. Since 1961, the cannon's been fired around 500 times using 100 pounds of that black powder. The cannon even made the trip to Super Bowl 29 in Miami. They actually disassembled the cannon, shipped it there to Miami, repainted it, and then reassembled it in Miami. And then it took part of several different parades and events there at the Super Bowl, and it was kind of a darling for the media there. And it was in parades, celebrations all throughout the week. And that is the history behind your Chargers cannon. It is the same cannon in SoFi Stadium now that was at Qualcomm and Jack Murphy prior to that. but it's not clear who actually owns it. I'm assuming the Chargers organization owns it. But again, I was not able to find that in my research. But I hope you enjoyed all these fun facts about the Chargers canon. And that one was especially for you guys at the Charger Chat Pod. Thank you for all that you do for all of us Charger fans. Stay bolted. Okay, love you. Bye.
Mike Modlin, we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for coming on, man.
It's crazy. I love
so
that. Cool.
I love that segment because I'm just learning things that like I had no idea.
I didn't even know I wanted to know. You know, like
I know, like the
stuff he talks
canon.
about. Yeah,
it makes us possibly shit our pants, but now we know the origins of why
now
we
we know
might shit
where
our
it came
pants
from, right?
I'm like, man, those guys in World War were probably shitting their pants too. That thing getting fired
This
at.
thing has been traveling around the world making people shit their pants.
Yeah, worldwide.
Shit pants worldwide. So, yeah, it's just a fascinating story, and we, keep them coming, Mike, because I love finding out more like the weird little intricacies.
The more obscure, the better. To be honest, I love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the deeper the nugget, the more we can appreciate, because it's just one of those things. Like, who would have thought that there would be really any history behind a cannon? Like, one that, was decked out with all the bolts and everything like that. Like, who would be going like, where did that cannon come from? I want to know. Like,
Mike Modlin did it. Now we're all the better for it.
Yes, and we are the better for it. So, Mike, thank you for digging down, getting that tasty little nugget, that tasty little morsel, and giving it to us over here at Charger Chat. We really do appreciate it. All right, folks. Well, hey, it's a short episode this week because, hey, it's that bye-week blues. We all talked about it, all right?
I got the blues.
You got them bye-week blues.
Skillibop.
All right, folks, enough of silliness. We appreciate you guys checking in with us this Friday episode. Again, don't forget to enter into that little giveaway. We'll make our announcement on the next episode on Tuesday.
Only got a couple days.
Only got a couple more days, folks. If you want to sit with me like this, I don't know. If you want to sit with me, let us know why you should come to this game. And if you want to throw in some Halloweeny business in there, where might put you up a little bit higher on the list. You never know. We got a point scale over here at Charger Chat. So enter if you can. We'd love to have you. And that will do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Who knows what secrets lurks in the hearts of fans? The Supercharger knows. Charger Chat Podcast presents The Supercharger, a man of mystery who knows no bounds when it comes to the history of his beloved Chargers. Facts, secrets, and the occasional mystery.
You don't see that every day.
Tune in every other week for The Supercharger.